In class 10 students, today I will be explaining the poem A Tiger in the Zoo. Before I begin, please take my advice. Pick up a pencil in your hand, open your book First Flight and notebook also. A Tiger in the Zoo, written by Leslie Norris, was published in 1938. The poem talks about the misery and helplessness of a caged tiger inside a zoo. The poem also talks about the kind of life the tiger would have had he been free to roam in the jungle. The poem highlights the sad plight of the wild animals whom human beings capture for fun and money. Let us start the poem. Pause the video and underline the new words and try to find out the poetic devices also. So let's read the poem. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water hole where plump deer pass. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, bearing his I hope you have underlined all the new words. So first new word is stalk. The meaning of this word is to follow someone over a period of time in a frightening way. The second new word is strong, vivid. Strong, the meaning of this word is strong, clear picture. Next new word is snarling, to make an angry sound while showing the teeth. Next new word is bearing, exposing and showing. After that, lurking, lying hidden in order to attack. Fangs, long sharp teeth. Concrete, bricks and cement. Now we will start the summary. The first stanza is, he stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. The summary of this poem, the summary of this first stanza is, the tiger with his bright and noticeable stripes moves around in the cage. The phrase few steps indicate that the cage is small where he can't move with ease and is able to take only a few steps. His footsteps are quiet because his padded soft feet, which are like velvet, allow him to walk soundlessly. The tiger tries to control his anger by quietly walking in the limited area of his cage. He is angry because he is not free. The explanation of the second stanza is, first of all, we will read the stanza. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. The explanation of this stanza is, the poet says that the tiger should be hiding in the shadow of long grass in a forest, waiting near water bodies, ready to pounce upon a deer or any other animal that comes to drink water. The tiger should be able to hunt its prey. The poet feels that the actual habitat of a tiger is the forest where he should live, roam around freely, hunt and eat. Third stanza is, he should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, bearing his white fangs, his claws terrorizing the village. Explanation of this stanza is, the poet further says that the tiger would have snarled around the houses located at the edge of the jungle. He would scare the villagers with his sharp teeth and claws. This stanza is a subtle hint at what happens when we destroy the habitat of wild animals. Wild animals fail to find food in the forest and they are forced to turn to the towns and villages for food. Also, the snarl may be wearing for the villagers to keep away from the jungle. He means to scare the villagers so that the villagers don't destroy the tiger's natural habit. Next stanza is, but he has locked in a concrete cell his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. The explanation of the stanza is, the poet comes back to the reality. He says that instead of all that roaming freely in the jungle, hiding, hunting, terrorizing villagers, the tiger is confined into a concrete cell. He further says that as the tiger is behind bars, it is as if his ferociousness, his strength is also behind the bars. Imprisoned, he just walks the length of the cage quietly. Instead of terrorizing, he actually ignores the visitors because he knows he is incapable of wielding his powers from behind the bars. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Explanation of this stanza is, the poet says that although the tiger doesn't get any sleep during the day because of visitors, he doesn't sleep at night. Being a nocturnal animal, he lies awake till the last man of the zoo has left. He even hears the sound of the patrolling cars all night long. He stares at the shining stars with his own shining eyes. Perhaps he tries to divert his thoughts, or he compares his confinement with the freedom of the stars, free to shine out there in the sky. Hope you have understood the paragraph, the stanza. Okay. Now let us discuss the theme of the poem. The poem is an honest take on the plight of caged animals through the life of a caged tiger. The poem offers an insight into the lives of the animals in a zoo. Since time immemorial, human beings have hunted, captured, and used animals to satisfy their insatiable hunger for pleasure and money. The poet wants to pass on the message that freedom is elementary for all living beings, be it human beings or animals and birds. Just as it's cruel to enslave human beings, it is cruel and malicious to keep animals locked behind bars for fun and money. Now we will discuss the rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, C, B. The next stanza also A, B, C, B. So the rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, C, B. Now we will discuss the poetic devices which are used in the poem. First of all, rhyme scheme A, B, C, B. After that, the first poetic device that is used in the poem, personification. The tiger is personified because the poet refers to him as he. Next poetic device is metaphor. Tiger's paws are compared with the velvet, pads of velvet. Right, so in the first stanza, metaphor is used here. Now the next poetic device is enjambment. Sentence is continuing to next line without any punctuation mark. So read the stanzas properly and identify where the poetic device enjambment is used. Next poetic device is imagery. The poet tries to create an image about the tiger. Examples are, he stalks in his vivid stripes, the few steps of his cage. Next poetic device is consonance. Use of S sound. Stalks, S. The second word is his, again S consonant is used. Stripes, S, S. So here is the example of consonance. Next is oxymoron. Use of adjectives opposite in meaning. So here two adjectives are used here which are opposite in meaning. Quiet, rage. Assonance. Use of vowel sound. I. In his vivid stripes. So here the vowel is used I, and I here. So hope you have understood the poem properly. So you will write the summary of this poem and do the poetic devices in your notebook. Thank you.